Okie dokie. Okay, so this is just for myself or whoever's interested in how to read DNA. Um, so yeah, I'm just doing this for myself. I think I'm pretty much done explaining myself to people, like who I am and what I'm about and stuff. So this stuff is for me. This is what I'm interested in. So why am I a boy? Why am I Vietnamese? Why am I Vietnamese American? Why do I speak pretty fluently English? Um, I have um, I'm still learning English language, but I speak pretty fluently in English. I don't have a thick accent. Um, so why? And the reason why is because of DNA. So I don't identify as male or Vietnamese. Um, the reason why I don't identify as um, male and Vietnamese because there's another gender. There's female, and there's other races. So to say this is who I am is not logical because I learned from a lot of different races, a lot of different cultures, and I become that. Right? I watch hip hop, I become that. I watch country, I become that. I watch Taylor Swift songs. Taylor Swift do what she does, I become Taylor Swift. So I don't identify as the original body that's given to me. So what does it mean? What does it mean to be given this first body? What does it mean? What does it mean to have DNA? All right. So that's the stuff I work on when I'm on my own. When I make video games, when I write books, when I write movies, when I write anything, it's about this. It's the stuff I'm working on, and basically, it's who am I? Right. So I identify as a string. That's that's first and foremost. I identify as a string. Where does that come from? I don't know. Right. But based on my research, I do believe whatever happens, it collapses into itself and it does become a string. I do believe that science. Um, from what I have now. So how that string becomes carbon, I don't know. Where's the string now? All right? Where is it? Does it just transform and now it's this talking thing? It's a thing that now talks. At first it's just a vibrating string and now it talks and it can take on carbon body. What is it? Right? So no, I don't identify as a boy. I don't identify as Vietnamese. But what does it mean that I was born this way? Right? It's interesting. Why did my string choose a boy in Vietnamese? Why? Could have chosen a girl. Could have been European American. Could have been. If I speak fluent English, why not just be an American girl? That's obviously what it is, right? If I speak fluently, I'm just as fluent as an American girl. So why not just be that? Why did my string choose to be a Vietnamese boy, right? So what does it mean to be Vietnamese, right? It's just a language. That's all it is. It's just a language. It's not who you are, right? People mistake culture and language as who they are. I identify as African American. I identify as Italian. I identify as Vietnamese. No, no, that's wrong. That's not how you do it. You were raised with it. That doesn't make you who you are. Who you are is who you decide to be. All right? So, what is Vietnamese? It's a language. It's no difference from in this family, you were raised studying physics. In this family, you were raised studying art. Those are language. Physics is a language. Math is a language. Art is a language. You don't see people walking around saying, I'm a physicist. It's who I am. No, it's what they study. It's not who you are. So Vietnamese is a language. It means my string probably enjoys learning different language. Or learns it to an exceptional level, right? So I become a physicist, right? When you get a degree and you get a job, you become that high position. So my string is probably so skilled at language, I become that language. I become it. So that's Vietnamese. It's just a language, right? I speak English and I speak Vietnamese. English is a language, right? I'm very proficient in English as well. That's where it comes from. So any language I learn, I become very skilled at it. Boy, that's another language. Right? We're all born girls first, and then it mutates depending on the string. All right? It mutates your DNA. So boy is a language. So that's one explanation of it. It can mean different, right? Because we're all girls. Like I'm very different. Not that different, but to myself I am. It could mean I think that's the main one where you feel different. Right? You feel so different, you become different. Right? It's like a caterpillar, right? It gets so full and then it crystallizes and it feels so different it becomes a butterfly. Right? So that's the best example. That's the best example of a caterpillar crystallizing and becomes a butterfly. All right? So it feels so different that it becomes something different. So again, we get all the way back to string. How does a string feel so different that it becomes carbon? How's that possible? So are feelings real? Right? So like why does the string do that? Why not stay a talking string? You could do that. Why do you have to be carbon? Why not just grow wings? Just grow wings. Why do you have to crystallize, break yourself down, and become something else? Just grow wings. Why does nature do this? Why does nature metamorphosize? I don't know how to spell metamorphosize, so why does nature do that? Why is it always changing? It's always changing into something else. I don't know why. That's a question I just came up with, so I don't know why. Metamorphosize? Metamorphosize. Metamorphosize. So why does nature metamorphosize? I don't know. Why does DNA become carbon? Let's say strings became DNA and then it became a human body. Right? So maybe it's so much information that it becomes, right? So let's say you have the information of an arm. Well, that arm will appear. You have the information of feet. That feet will appear. You have information of a leg. That leg will appear. Right? But why is this DNA forming something? Why can't it just be a talking DNA? Right? Just stay as a talking. Why do you always have to metamorphosize? Why does it always have to become something? I don't know. So that's what I'm working on. So I know this is not real. I know it's like a caterpillar, right? It knows it's about to change. So that's how I see the body, where you can change it to whatever you want it to be. It's just it's like the first test you have, right? You get an A on it. No, you get a B on it, you get a C on it, you get a D on it, you get an F on it. It just means something. It's not who you are. It just means you're a bad test taker, you're a great test taker, you're an average test taker. That's all it means. It's not who you are. You can still do better on the test, or you can still fail the test. So so that's how I see the body, right? So the body's like a test. All right. Some people, all right. So some people ace the test. Some people are. So let's go with average, great, all right. So this is how I read the DNA, right? So the DNA is trying to form itself. For whatever reason, again, this is all new to me. I don't know why it would be forming itself, but it is. As it's forming itself, it's giving itself a grade. Right? So because I'm so great with language, I give myself an A. I become Vietnamese. Because I'm so great with abstract ideas, I get an A. I become a boy. And people who are average would, remain a girl. Or if you're really failing, an American girl. Pretty obvious. That's the final answer. If you're really bad at tests, at a certain test, you would end up as a girl, an American girl, just very average, very basic, right? You're not good at taking tests, certain tests, which means you probably have a learning problem. So if you're an American Caucasian girl, you probably have learning issues because they just give you the basics right off the bat. And the rest are really good at learning, right? You see why boys, right, they're really good in sports and things like that. They're really good at learning. Average would be just like girls in general, but of different races or something. But they're pretty decent learners. The worst learners are the American girls. They're the worst learners. The American girls are the worst at learning, whatever it may be, right? It just means you need to be tutored. That's all it needs. That's really all it is. You just need tutoring. Everyone needs it in different areas. Like, I'm not a American girl because I failed it. I failed at it. In my DNA, I tried to be an American girl and I just failed. However, I'm very exceptional at language. So I'm allowed to be a boy. Right? So it reads the same. By being a boy, you fail here. Right? By being a girl, you fail here. So that's all. It's really balanced. So again, if you're exceptional at being an American girl, you fail at being a boy. And if you're really good at being a boy, you fail at being a girl. You need tutoring. That's all. So for me, I'm really good at being a boy, and I'm very good at being and different languages that's not English. So English is um so my weakness is okay. So for me, my weakness is being a girl and English. So for me, my weaknesses are being a girl because I failed at. I'm a boy. I my DNA went through a test. I failed. It's that simple. Okay. So I tested myself and I failed. I became a boy. And I tested myself in English and I failed again. So I became Vietnamese. All right? Pretty simple. So my weaknesses are being a girl, which I need to work at, and English, which I do really need to work on English because my grammar it doesn't come easy to me. So I'm good at any other language, right? Like abstract ideas. So my strengths are abstract ideas. All right, being a boy, speaking Vietnamese when the primary language is English. You know, I do abstract stuff really well. All right, so that's how you read DNA. Pretty simple. It doesn't mean, remember, the test you take doesn't define you. The test you take does not define you at all. It's just a test to see where your strengths and weaknesses are. That's it. It does not define you. I am not Vietnamese and I'm not a boy. All right. Um, it's just that, you know, you know, you get a medal for being an A student. That's all. And that's all I'm wearing. I'm wearing the medal. So that's all it means.